All right, so this is the startup procedure for turning the sound on in the small sanctuary. This is our mixing board. The first thing you're going to do is to turn this on. There's a switch in the back here, right above the power cord, and you just flip it, and you'll see all the lights turn on here in a second. Oops, actually, yeah, there we go. All the lights turning on, and you have to make sure that the power strips are on back here. Then we're going to walk over here to the speakers. We have 3 speakers. This first one on the left here, it just has on the back here, let's see, switch right above there. Can you see that? Right above there. And then on the front, you'll see a green light come on. And the same thing on this one. Come over here, take a look at it. Switch right there, and then the same thing, the green light will come on the front. And this big box here is our subwoofer, and the best way to do this is to tilt it a little bit, and right to the side of the power plug you can turn it on right here. And actually someone I think has already turned it on, left it on, so you'll have to turn that on and it'll start up like that. And if you have any issues with it, it might be that this power strip is off. So now we're going to go back over here to the board and test it out. So the soundboard has, we have a couple channels on here, and this board is pretty cool because it labels what things are. Wireless mic 1, wireless mic 2, mic HH, which stands for handheld, which is on the stage. The PC left and PC right, that's the sound coming from the computer over here that we will send to it. So right off the bat, what happens though, this is our master volume, and it defaults to be all the way down. That way, if it turns on and the volume is way up, that it's not going to somehow start blasting something. So if you're ever like, oh, there's no sound, chances are it's because this is not up enough. So I'm going to put it here at -20 dBs just to get a test on this. And we'll test out one of these microphones here. So we've got 2 lavalier microphones that attach to your shirt. And we're just going to flip on both of these switches, just like that. And this is the pack here. I'm going to take it out of the pack so you can see it. This is what it looks like, and the microphone plugs in here. Now we do have some batteries over here that really at the end of it, there should actually be some on here. At the end of the day, when we're done, these are hard to get to. Sometimes you have to use a key or something. These rechargeable batteries should be put on this. These are not rechargeable batteries. I'm going to get some new ones for that. But they should be put on this. And then so actually in the morning when you get here, you'll take out new charged batteries and put them in here so that we always have fresh batteries. So assuming these are new fresh batteries coming in here, I'm going to put it back in the slot just like that. And then on this is the microphone wrapped up into this Velcro thing. And so this end plugs in, and you just look at the pins and then plug it in. And this little ball part right here will be on the inside, and it just snaps into place. And then this power switch here, I switch it to on, and you'll see a green light right there telling me that it's on. So when I talk into this now, check 1 2 1 2 check, you can see here that it's got on the meter, it's registering. Also right here you can see that it's getting a signal. So if for some reason this wasn't registering but you saw that this was, then you'd know that the connection between this unit and the soundboard was not correct. So across here are the mutes. So right now, even though I'm talking, I can even turn the volume up on this, but nothing's going to happen because this channel is muted. And it's kind of backwards the way you would think. If the light is on, that means it's off. Okay, so like here, these lights are off, they're not on. That means actually the PC audio is on this. So I'm going to hit the unmute button, check 1, 2, 1, 2, check. And then that mic is working. So this is when you can test the volume of everything. That's not loud enough, like I'm holding it down here. When you put this on somebody or they put it on, it just needs to be about, even a little less than that. They say kind of about a little bit more than a hand from the chin. So if I were to like do like a hang 10 like this, that's about how far it should be from the person. Otherwise it gets pretty poppy like this. So I'm gonna adjust the volume here and check 1, 2, 1, 2, check. It's a lot more volume happening there. And the same thing would be for this one as well. And they have, if they're doing a skit or something, they can turn their mic off with this, and then that just cuts your signal. If they're doing that, you don't have to worry about muting them again, because as soon as they turn it back on, it takes a couple, there you go. As soon as it turns back on, it's going, they're gonna have their volume. So this is how you work the mics. When you're putting the mics away, I'm gonna mute it. What I don't want you to do is just take it and like wrap it like this, because what happens is we're using these every week, and 52 weeks a year of it getting wrapped like this, it's just gonna bend this wire, and then we're gonna have to replace the microphone. And every year we'll have to get new mics for this. So what you're gonna do is unplug it and then wrap up the mic. What I do is I undo the Velcro like this, and then I wrap up the mic. I do it this way, where I take these two fingers and do like a figure 8 with my fingers, like that. And then I just put it in the Velcro. You can just kind of let it sit in the Velcro like that, and that way it's not gonna fall out. If you are gonna not do that, then just crumple it up. Just like take it and just crumple it into itself like this. And the reason why I'm going to show you the wrong way to do it, you can put it in there the same way. If you do this and you just wind it like this, like I'm going to take it apart. See how it's coiled now? After it's like a big coil. Well, you coil that up yourself. And so what happens is most people are usually right-handed. So every time at the end of service, somebody comes and they do this, and they get it and it's got a coil in it. When they undo it, then the next person does it. Eventually this cable starts to look really bad. Number one is it starts to get real coily up and it's hard to use. But more importantly, these fibers inside here, the wires, start to break apart. So use one of those two methods, either scrunch it up or do the figure 8 method on how to wrap that up, and then put it back here. And there we go. That is the startup for that. A couple quick things on this. If you ever, I don't know how well you can see this in here, but there's like a little channel button in there, and it tells you what channel it's on. I think this says channel 9. And then on the front here, this is labeled as channel 9 also, on this little thing right there. And on the top, I've got this this little screwdriver here, and that is just the right size to adjust that if for some reason that gets tripped. So if you think, you know, my mic's not working for some odd reason, that's probably what it is. So that's the startup procedure on everything, and then this is the shutdown. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to mute everything, and then I do everything the exact opposite. So I'm going to go over here, turn these off. Remember, the first thing we did was turn the board on, so that's going to be our last thing we do. So we're going to go over here and shut down the speakers. And the reason why we're shutting down the speakers is because if we shut down the board first with the speakers on, it sends like a pop to the speakers, and you can blow the speakers. So we're going to just turn this off and turn this off, and then finally this off, and then turn our board off and put the dust shield back on top. All right, and then we go back over here to our switch and flip it off, just like that. And you're good to go, as long as this gets put on. That's it. Now you know how to do the sound, start up, and shut down.